Hello there, you're welcome to the Polity, reaching you live from the Abuja studio of King Adebayo Film and Theatre Arts Network, popularly known as Kaftan Television, where we all imagine a beautiful world. The Polity is a program that takes a deep dive and goes below the headlines of unfolding political events within Nigeria and even beyond the shores of the country. My name is Macauley Hunohashi, welcoming our esteemed viewers from around the world for joining us this auspicious afternoon on the program. So much is happening within the political space in Nigeria, and I have a guest who will be joining me in due course. But before I introduce the guest, let me make it clear that this program was originally crafted by Kaftan Television Management for Nigerians to be availed a situation where they can have a common ground, where they can coming together, converge, and cross-fertilize ideas, and even verbalize their thoughts with regards to typical and trending national issues that are being crafted by government, that resonates with them, that are supposed to have direct bearing with them. So in due course, in the course of the program, we are going to be opening our telephone line so that our viewers, who are also our vibrant callers, can begin to call in to make the program interactive, engaging, incisive, as well as conversational. Conversational because you'll be free to make a call, because the telephone number will be displayed on your screen, but later in the course of the show. And we're taking a roller coaster ride today with topical issues that range. We're starting with the inauguration of Pope Leo XIV, where President Bola Ahmed Tinubu attended, and then he pushed for peace and unity in Nigeria and in the world in general. And then from there, we're going to take a look at lessons on Tinubu's, as Tinubu meets former presidential candidate of the Labour Party, Fayemi, and former Ekiti State Governor, Peter Obi, and former Ekiti State Governor, Kayode Fayemi, alongside Catholic Bishop led by Archbishop Kegama, and Bishop Atiku, on the sidelines of events at the Vatican during the inauguration of Pope Leo XIV. And then we'll come back home to take a look at coalition as a former presidential candidate of the People's Democratic Party in the 2023 election, talking about former Vice President Atiku Abubakar, against the backdrop of the coalition talks for 2027 general election, has offered Peter Obi vice presidential role in one-term deal. And then from there, we're going to talk about Northwest APC adoption of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu as sole candidate for the 2027 general election. Well, the Pope Francis died, and which also saw the emergence of Pope Leo XIV, and who was inaugurated yesterday at the Vatican. And President Bola Ahmed Tinubu led the Nigerian delegation, even though a Muslim married to a pastor in the Redeemed Christian Church of God, RCCG. He was invited alongside other few African leaders, and President Bola Ahmed Tinubu was there, and he had a private meeting with Pope Leo XIV, where President Bola Ahmed Tinubu talked about peace and unity in the country, as well as the entire global arena. Now we are going to take a short break, and when we return, I will introduce my guest who is already here to join me. Please stay with us, don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. You're welcome back. If you are just tuning in, you are on to the Polity, reaching you live from the Abuja studio of King Adebayo Film and Theatre Arts Network, popularly known as Kaftan Television, where we all imagine a beautiful world. We sincerely apologize for resuming a little behind schedule because it was due to technical glitches that has been corrected by our technicians. Well, we have to move straight to the program, the topical issues of the program. We're going to start with the inauguration of Pope Leo XIV, where President Bola Ahmed Tinubu was one of the few African leaders that who were invited to join other global leaders at the inauguration, from where President Bola Ahmed Tinubu reiterated his resolve to ensure that he works towards ensuring peaceful coexistence and convivial atmosphere within the country and even beyond the shores of Nigeria, in Africa and the global arena. And from there, we'll take a look at the lessons learned with the meeting of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu at the Vatican with a presidential candidate of the Labour Party and former governor, that's Peter Obi, former governor of Ekiti State, where they had a warm reception away from the political shenanigans in the country. So what are the lessons learned? And then from there, we'll take a look at the 2027 coalition as Atiku camp layers former presidential candidate of the Labour Party, Peter Obi, for the vice presidential role in one-term, what they call one-term deal. And then we're going to dovetail and, hopefully wrap up the conversation with Northwest APC adopting President Bola Ahmed Tinubu as sole candidate for the 2027 general election. I have two gentlemen in the studio who have already joined me to unpack these topical issues by breaking them down bit by bit as we gallop along with our viewers, well, eventually, and our vibrant callers, because in the course of the show, we're going to open our telephone line, which will be displayed on your screen, so that you can begin to call in to make the program interactive, incisive, engaging, as well as conversational. On my far right, looking like an Oba over there, is no other person than Segun Ojelade. Segun Ojelade, you're welcome to Oba Segun Ojelade. You're welcome to.
Thanks, Macauley.
Ujale of Kaftan.
I'm just Segun Ojelade.
Well, Segun, for the purpose of our viewers who don't know, Segun is a Kaftan TV senior presenter and member of the editorial board. Segun, I don't take your presence for granted.
Thank you very much, Macauley.
Well, beside me is no other person than a regular face on national TV, major national television stations. He is an interviewer's delight, and he is no other person than Dr.
Obadiah
Mbila. Dr. Obadiah Mbila. Dr. Obadiah Mbila is, I was trying to remember your first name.
Obadiah?
Nkumoku. That was what I was trying to remember. Nkumoku Obadiah Mbila.
That's right.
He's a colleague, a veteran journalist, media personality, as well as a political analyst.
Yes.
Well, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu yesterday joined other world leaders, at St. Peter's Square, Vatican City in Rome, for the solemn inauguration mass of Pope Leo XIV, the new elected leader of the Roman Catholic Church. He is going to lead over 1.4 billion baptized Catholics across the globe. How did the news hit you, seeing your president at the Vatican?
Well, the politicians, we call it landmark. It's really heartwarming that even with all the things that people are saying about Nigeria and her people and the personality of the president himself, that the Catholic pontiff saw the need in inviting him to join other world leaders at that great event. It's a very big recognition for every one of us in Nigeria, because not all the presidents of the world, or even in Africa, were invited to the ceremony, and it is one ceremony that does not always happen every year. So it's a very big one, very significant, in the sense that the Pope is one of the very few personalities in the world that command such a very, very large following. I don't think there is any other person like that in the world. 1.5 billion Catholics from almost all nations of the world. It's remarkable for any man, any human being to be elected into such an office. And the Catholic, the Pope, is just not an ordinary personality. He is a world leader, and is a very high-ranking religious leader who everybody will want to see because of the spiritual, because of the embodiment of spirituality that he carries. A handshake with the Pope, wow, really goes a long way in the life of any human being. Like we say, those of us that belong to the Redeemed Christian Church of God, if you have the opportunity of shaking Pastor Adeboye, our daddy, you keep it in your pocket, you don't even use it to eat.
Okay, that's your hope. Dr. Obadiah Mbila, let me come to you. It will be wonderful for me, in particular, to have a handshake with the Pope.
Yes.
But you know, you never can tell when that opportunity might come.
If it will ever come.
If it will ever come. You know, yes. President Bola Tinubu is our president.
Yes.
You know, most Nigerians are highly elated, cutting across all faiths.
Yes.
And a political divide.
Yes.
How did it hit you to see your president there? You know, in fact, he was even accorded the front row seat at the Vatican.
At the Vatican.
How significant would you say that is?
Yeah, you know, the pontiff is a world influence, a renowned world influence. So I had thought that such opportunity to meet with him does not come always. And now it came that during the period that President Tinubu happened to be the president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, it coincided with the inauguration of Pope Leo. And if it was not a very serious affair, I imagine that the president would have delegated someone else, maybe the vice president, you know, to take that lead, as he jokingly told former Labour Party president and former governor Fayemi, I'm the leader of the Nigerian delegation.
Yes.
Of course, indeed, he's the leader of the Nigerian delegation. The tradition in Vatican is that every country that parades large population of Catholics are automatically in the invitation. Yeah, so it was not surprising that President Tinubu was invited, because Nigeria actually boasts of one of the largest population of Catholics in the whole world. So it was his right as the president of Federal Republic of Nigeria, where most citizens are members of the Catholic Church. So he is representing the Catholics, the Nigerian Catholics at the Vatican. He is speaking for them at the Vatican. So it was a welcome event that he did not delegate someone, but had to go by himself. And to demonstrate the recognition Vatican has for Nigeria, he was given audience, no matter how short it was. He was given a proper reception by other officials of the Vatican, you know, prior to the formal pontification. So to that extent, he, like other leaders, were Catholics in their good numbers, received the recognition that they deserve, that he deserved, as the president of a country that parades one of the largest population of Catholics. And for us, Nigerians, to some extent, whether we want to accept it or not, it was a good image-making outing.
You know,
I want to also add that Nigeria as a country should have a place in the heart of Pope Leo.
That's right.
He has visited Nigeria
19 times.
19 times.
19 times.
His evangelical work was quite extensive in Nigeria.
Augustinian.
Yes, it's quite extensive in Nigeria. So I believe that he probably will feel that the inauguration will not be complete without the Nigerian leader being in attendance, and then for him to have a one-on-one with him. Like we have both said, it's a very significant invitation to us, and we are happy that our president was able to be there, and we thank God that it was Bola Ahmed Tinubu that got the spiritual handshake with the Pope. I think bringing that home, Christians believe that it will rub off on the whole country. We believe so.
Okay, that's exactly where I'm headed. You know, let me ask Dr. Mbila. You know, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, amongst the Nigerian delegation, he led the delegation, and he was the only Muslim. You know, Archbishop Ignatius Kagama was there. You know, and
Matthew Kuka,
Bishop Matthew Kuka of the Sokoto Diocese was there.
The Lagos,
and then exactly,
Archbishop.
You know, he led the delegation, and then two staunch Catholics who stood up prominently there. Was former presidential candidate of the Labour Party, Peter Obi, which you alluded to,
yes,
and
Fayemi.
And then there was a joke. But you know, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu's comment, many people believe that he has shown that he is a man who believes in unity and interfaith respect, you know, of human beings, particularly in Nigeria, because they said he has demonstrated in his cabinet with the appointment of 62% Christians, you know, 62%. That's what they said in government. And the one wanted to also say that this visit sends a clear message, whether Christian or Muslim, we all worship the same God.
Yes.
And how symbolic is that for us as Muslims and Christians, as a people in this country? You know, we are bedeviled with a lot of war of attrition, Muslim, Christian fighting each other, you know, being, exacerbated by politicians. How symbolic is that?
Yeah, let's clear this point. Both Dr. Fayemi and Mr. Peter Obi are papal medal holders.
Yes,
on it is their right to attend the inauguration, whether invited or not.
Yes.
They are automatically invited by reason of their status. And good enough, you see, sometimes religious activities, spiritual events can help us shade our political differences.
That's right.
All right, and then become humans once again. I could see a Fayemi of APC and Obi of Labour Party, you know, interacting on issues of common interest. And at the same time, from the reports we have received so far, it was Fayemi who initiated the move to meet the president, you know, by one of his arch rivals in the last election. He beckoned on Peter Obi for them to meet the president. And it was at that point that the president himself, full of wit, was joked about the meeting and say, you know, no matter your status in the church, I am the leader of the delegation, and that is his right of course. So, for me, we may have struck a very big deal that can promote peace, reconciliation, unity, and better political alignment.
Yes.
We should not be extremely bitter about political issues to the extent that we forget our humanity.
That we need to build the country.
We forget the gospel that we should be presenting to the world. Yes. If our gospel is gospel of peace, if the gospel is gospel of reconciliation, we should not only preach it, we should practicalize it.
Yes.
And I think that's what Dr. Fayemi and Mr. Peter Obi demonstrated at the Vatican.
Yes.
That's commendable. And it should inspire us to know that at a time we need to sheath our swords and forge common front to make at least the world understand that we may have our differences, but we are still one people.
Yes.
This is quite commendable. On the part of Mr. President, who advocated for unity and peace, it is important that we note that part of the reason why his presidential campaign almost got stopped was the so-called Muslim tickets, which frightened the Christian community, you know, and most people thought that, oh, okay, this is the end of Christianity, because the intention or the unspoken reason why the Muslim ticket is being promoted is to Islamize the country. Now, President Bola Tinubu, a Muslim, was at the Vatican, you know, sharing thoughts, sharing good time with Christians. We have now come to realize that our problem in the country is not really religious divide, but what politicians can make out of this religious divide, because they are the ones that actually beat the drum and make it sound so hard that the uninformed will begin to think, they are coming against my religion. We must resist it.
Yes.
In the end, those fears that we
nursed,
we nursed in the pre-election of 2023 has just
frizzled out,
dissolved on its own. We have not seen any effort by this administration to promote one religion above the other. We have not seen that. However, the area one must point out is when a president advocates for peace and unity, it should translate in the way his appointment goes. It should spread so wide that every part of the country, every segment of the society will feel the presence and the appointment of the impact of the appointment of Mr. President. And for me, the event of the Vatican might be a new era, might be opening a new era of great reconciliation. Who knows?
Okay, who knows? Let me ask you this question. It's a follow-up to what you just said, and in addition to your reaction. Mr. President will be returning tomorrow, Tuesday, back to the country. But Peter Obi has since returned, and he took to his Twitter handle today, Monday, where he said he has just returned from the Vatican, and it was a deeply solemn and reflective visit. Let me quote what he said. My participation in the inauguration ceremony was in line with my previous witnessing of inaugurations, swearing-ins and official ceremonies across the world. This was no exception. This is where the question comes from. Such occasions carry profound moral and spiritual significance. This was never a political event and should remain untouched by politics. You know, we live in a country where we want to make a mountain out of a molehill. Some people might seize this opportunity to create, to make a political capital out of this encounter with Mr. President. What's your reaction?
Yeah, I think it's good that Peter Obi has sounded that note of caution. I think more importantly, what he's saying is that don't believe that any coalition is about to happen.
Exactly.
Don't say that we travel to Rome so that we can reconcile, and then one will join another party, or one will be no. That's exactly what he's saying. That don't draw any unnecessary conclusion from the visit to Rome. Now, let me say that we have all seen what happened in room. The handshake, the banters, and the backslapping between Mr. President and the two other Catholic bigwigs and politicians. Well, it is not only what happens in Rome that matters, but what will happen when they all return home. Now Peter Obi is back. Since he came back, has he been a new person? When Mr. President comes back tomorrow, will the events of Rome have any major significance in the way the government will handle things? Will they handle it better? Ditto for Fayemi. I think what the events of the three of them meeting in Rome, the message there is that the level of friendship, the level of the smile and the commitment made for interfaith unity, they should carry it back to Nigeria. You know, treat everybody as equal before God, and then in their dealings too, remember that all the three of them are leaders in their own right, and the people look up to all of them in very many ways. So they must ensure that they are sincere to the people in all that they do. It is not when they now come back now that the armies of their loyalists and their supporters will now begin to do things in a way that they've been doing it to outsmart one another, and then to forgetting that the people they are governing, everything, whatever they see in a room is not politics. Whatever they did in Rome is not politics. In fact, there is a spiritual essence of all they did at St. Peter's Catholic Basilica. So for them to now come back and forget all that and go back to their let me say good ways in quotes, it will be very, very tragic for the country and our people.
You have anything to add?
No, nothing more to add than we should sustain that level of demonstrating maturity, leadership, and then understanding that we are all one before God.
Before God, yes.
You know, Segun, we are living in a country where politicians are seen, with skepticism whenever they talk. People regard it as mere political rhetorics. Yes. In what way can we match words with action as politicians in Nigeria? Because whatever politicians say, hardly do they,
let me help you. When a politician says good morning, some Nigerians will go and check their wristwatches to see whether it is morning or still night.
Do you agree, Doctor?
Well, that's the way it is, and unfortunately so. Because for me, the politicians should be role model. I was just reading a post about a Nigerian who was a member of parliament, just for telling lies.
Yes.
For telling lies. He lost his position.
It's a British-born Nigerian.
Yes. Now, I recalled an event that took place in 1999, just after the inauguration of the Fourth Senate. It was at the height of the issue of Zelensky and the former president of the United States, the sexual issues that really was about to cost Clinton his presidency, and of course maybe cost his matrimony too, because somehow some of these issues could lead to breakage in marriage. So a senator moved a motion asking the Senate to condemn the action of Clinton, that it is a shame for a leader to lead that way. After the debates, the contributions, the then President said something. He says, distinguished senators, I don't know whether this chamber is qualified to condemn the action of President Clinton, because here we have all of us seated here. Maybe our dear friends are even waiting outside, you know, in our offices to embrace us. So, and we have mistresses that are also watching. So when we condemn and go back to our mistresses, they push us out. Therefore, we should not condemn the action of President Clinton. Now, that might look like just a joke carried too far, but that's the way it is.
Yes,
we cannot begin to appropriate inappropriations of other countries and call what they call inappropriate appropriate, because that's what we practice. That's what people think. Look, if you're a criminal, you better join politics. If you are a woman abuser, you better join politics. Every evil that is known, you are protected when you join politics. Even Adam Soshimole, as a sitting chairman of a political party, went as far as saying that, look, if you have ever sinned and joined APC, your sins are forgiven. Now, utterances like that it points to the fact that we are not yet ready to cleanse the environment for or purify ourselves for a leadership of integrity. And this is sad.
Okay, it is sad. I quite agree with you. Well, the coalition talks moving towards 2027 has continued, and it is gaining momentum. The latest is information coming from the Atiku camp that they are offering Peter Obi, the 2023 presidential candidate of the Labour Party, vice presidential slot, you know, for only one term. But Peter Obi has come out to deny that. You know, he has clarified that his involvement in the coalition ahead of the 2027 election is focused on the fight against, in quote, bad governance, hunger and poverty, not personal political ambition. You know, how do
I think Mazi just explained Nigerian politicians how they behave to you. Don't believe them. Don't believe Peter Obi on this statement. The other group has let out the cat out of the bag. It is for him to say, I accept, I don't accept. See, in the next couple of weeks or months, you are going to hear the truth about the whole thing. In fact, when I saw it early this morning, I said, let me wait for some other authentic sources. Maybe it's just the social media crowd that are game again. Let me wait. I started seeing it.
He actually reacted to a question posed by one of the major newspapers correspondent at Kubwa here in Abuja, where he donated a school and a hospital project organized by the Anglican Church. He neither confirmed nor denied such
that's exactly
the existence of such an agreement.
That's exactly what I'm telling you. We still don't know what to believe now. Don't believe this side, don't believe the other side. Okay. But what we know is that there is there is smoke.
Because there's fire.
Yes, because there's fire.
Okay.
They are working on something.
Dr. Mbila. Actually, what happened in politics, there is a continuous permutation. There is continuous alignment. There is continuous shifting of interest. And there is a continuous rebuilding of blocks. It happens. And like we say, we never ever in politics have permanent enemies.
Okay.
What we have is permanent interest. The Atiku camp has been very anxious in going in for the presidency of this country.
Yeah.
And sometimes too, the Atiku's camp have also been their own enemies. In that, after each event, instead of the man Atiku to stay back and build his party and nurture it, he will always pull back, either join force with other groups, and then later join back the party. Now, this is affecting the PDP fortune generally. He did that in 23. Many people didn't realize that he was doing such thing. He was the one that actually inaugurated Dr. Alex Ekweme, you know, and then galvanized his followers to back Ekweme, so that Ekweme can now contest against Olusegun Obasanjo. Of course, the popular Obasanjo, Ekweme Obasanjo by Tony Kimi came out from that that experiment. Did it work? It didn't work. So he continued. By 2007, when he realized that the ticket was not going to go to him, he left and joined forces with Bola Ahmed Tinubu to form the ACN. I expected that if he wants to remain ACN, he should remain ACN. However, by 2011, he returned to PDP. You know, and by 2015, he left PDP again. So such inconsistency in a viral environment, in places where things work, it has already cast about your leadership. And I am worried because he is one man that opens his door very wide open to Yorubas, to Igbos, to thieves, to no matter the path you come from. But this time around, he wants to stake just one term. And then help Obi prepare the ground to take over from him. Will he keep to the one term? We have never seen it happen.
Because it is unconstitutional. It is not constitutional.
It's not constitutional. Of course.
So he could manage on that.
Of course. He as the ticket, as a flag bearer, has the right of first refusal.
Exactly.
It's just like when they actually said they are adopting the president as the sole candidate. Some people clap for them. How do they clap for them? Who would you have taken other than the president? Whose right it is? Whose constitutional, I'll call it conventional right, because it might not be constitutional, you know, but it is his right until he say no, I'm not going.
Right of first refusal.
First refusal. Until he say no, I'm not contesting again. Before any other person would throw his this weight to the ring.
And my fear is even that before the completion of his 4 years, Atiku can have a new bride.
Of course. Yeah, that's
a risk. It's a big risk.
People didn't even know that in 1999, the gentleman agreement was, Obasanjo, take one.
Okay, Dr. Mbila, let's display our telephone number there. It will be there so that our callers can begin to call in. Go ahead, continue.
Yeah. So, the arrangement was in 1999, you know, the Southwest have not forgotten the 1993 election.
Yes.
And it's going to impede on the electoral process if we don't do anything, something about it. Therefore, let's bring Obasanjo from Southwest to come and contest, but only for one term.
Okay, one term. Let's take Mohammed from Maiduguri. Mohammed, our regular caller, please go ahead.
Well done, gentlemen.
Well done, Mohammed.
Well done. I commend you people for presenting this kind of topic.
We appreciate you.
In order to minimize time, Segun and this my chief. I greet all of you.
Thank you.
Having said that, the president's visit to Rome is something that I personally was happy about because this is a clear leadership, similar type of what Jerry Rawlings used to do. Jerry Rawlings used to go to Idi ground, prayer ground, Idi ground. After the Imam has finished his sermon, he take over a microphone and talk to his people, bringing unity among his people. Because Ghana has Muslims and Christians. So a Nigerian president who is a Muslim to attend such a occasion on the behalf of the Nigerian Catholics is a welcome development. These are the type of things I'm advocating.
Yeah.
And Islam has never forbid such a thing. Yeah. So Honestly speaking, I'm happy about that.
Then come back to 2027 coalition.
President Bola Tinubu has a lot to do as a Nigerian leader. Be careful with every other person. First in Nigeria first. Look at this white man, Donald Trump. His policies are very open. America first. If we cannot stand and galvanize ourselves as Nigerians and bring ourselves together, honestly speaking, by the time we give room for outsiders to infiltrate in between us, we cannot unite. This is one of our problems that is really touching us. Our problem is not about the Muslim or the Christian. No, all this one is theory. Politicians are using it to create more division among us, as this chief is always saying it. I really appreciate what you are saying. It's the truth. It is not a Christian-Muslim problem. There is nothing like that. We believe in with Christians and Muslims happily in the past. What happened? Was there no Bible before? Was there no Quran before? Are we not living happily? People in black know what I'm talking about. But politicians who never want us to unite, and they give room for these Europeans who always plan ahead and destabilize us so that we cannot unite and get development. We give them or collect contract from I can even say they collect contract. References or pastors and imams and other politicians can collect contract of dividing and creating more difficulties to Nigerians from the enemy of Nigerians. You will not know. Nowadays, people transfer money to you. Will you know money has entered your account now? How will I know? So, things of that nature is happening everywhere. We must unite and focus. Then we can build on it. If we are coming together as people, honestly speaking, it is difficult for somebody from outside to break us. This is one thing we must maintain. What President Bola Tinubu did on the behalf of all the Catholics and Christians in Nigeria, for me, it's a good development. It's a good move forward.
Thank you, Mohammed.
There is no division among us. That is one thing. Then issue of this political coalition, me, I don't even believe in them because they are just playing with people's intelligence. Today in this party, tomorrow in the other party, next tomorrow in the other party, who are they deceiving? Nigerians are more wiser than what it is before. If you want Nigerians to vote for you, practically do what we want. Tell the IMF, look, we cannot continue to pay all this questionable loan. We are hungry. We want to use this money to develop our people. All these local companies, like in the agricultural institution in Ibadan, they have so many agricultural input. We should promote them. We don't need to import any agricultural technology from outside. Even the one we have, we don't utilize them.
Moment, others are waiting. We know you have valid points.
Let me conclude. Let me conclude. I know it's because of time. Let me conclude. At the end of all stories, Nigeria should remain as Nigeria. Then we can look upward. We can move forward. May God continue to bless Nigeria and protect all of us.
Amen. Amen. Say amen to that. Doctor.
Yeah. Actually, I wanted to comment on the offering of VP slot to Mr. Peter Obi. He has clearly stated that he's for the coalition.
Yes.
There's no doubt about that.
Yeah.
But actually, it appears he has been very diplomatic to talk about his acceptance of the VP slot. For me, as a political analyst, I had always thought that for now, Obi has no credible platform to call his.
Okay, beautiful. I like that. But let's listen to Awusko from Kaduna. Awusko, do you agree with Doctor here right here in the studio? Thank you, Awusko. He said Obi doesn't have credible platform.
Yes, because the Labour Party is in disarray right now. The other guy put it calling himself the other Nenadi Usman having a home. So I don't know. They are not even respecting the Supreme Court. They don't know who is the chairman or whatever. I want to commend President Tinubu for and the party camp for inviting him. And it really goes to show that, just as the doctor said, Nigeria have one of the largest Catholic followers. And being a president of Nigeria, it's not a small thing, but the largest black nation in the world. It is a prestigious state. So for the president to have taken that, for the Pope to have taken opportunity to reward our president is very commendable. And there are lessons to be learned. You see, the president has got to rule, and he has seen development there. So, if you transmute development back to Nigeria, you know, all the time we'll be having problem. And I also commend the meeting between the Fayemi and the president. It's very good. You see, one of the bone of contention is lack of unity among our political elite. You see, the political elite should be united in developing Nigeria. They should get us aside party politics for the project Nigeria. And the center stage of the problem is the massive, the well-being of the average Nigerian. Today, the average meal of the Nigerian is very deplorable. We have like only 2 hours. This cannot continue. How can a nation develop like that? So, these people should unite, take this project Nigeria together, and solve our problem. It's doable. Nigerians are all over the world. They can transmit those ideas and develop our country. As for the those like the doctor have said, you see, we have to have political consistency. You cannot be going competing from party to party, and you think people will take you serious. That means you are just there to fulfill your childhood ambition. And what is the necessity that before you come, the one you can is by it. And so the coalition must do an introspection, really, so that if they are really serious in dethroning Tinubu, they should do an introspection, and Nigerians should be the focal point. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Awusko. Let me ask you, Doctor, could that be that former Vice President Atiku Abubakar's proposal is a ploy or a decoy, or rather a kite being flown to get the buy-in of the likes of Peter Obi?
Yeah, you know, one can never predict how sincere or insincere the Vice President is. But as for testing the number 1 seat, it has been uppermost in his life. Yeah. In fact, way back 1993, he started trying till date. He was lucky also in 1999 when, after winning Adamawa governorship, Obasanjo decided to pick him as his VP. That was a leeway to bringing him closer to Aso Rock. So I cannot predict the authenticity of his offering now.
Because you don't know his mind.
Because I don't know his mind. You
That's
know.
true.
But somehow, for me, then knowing the type of followership Peter Obi enjoys, they are looking for a president that they will call their own. That's Peter Obi. But now it is a very, very difficult or Herculean task for Peter Obi. Usually, a good politician should start preparing just a year, 2 years into election. Preparation should start. Now, Peter Obi has no party that he's going to call his, on which platform that he's going to offer himself for election. And he cannot join force with APC either. So the best for him now is to make sure that this coalition works. And if the coalition are insisting that since President Bola Ahmed Tinubu is from the south, that to woo the north, they need to pick a president from the north. Automatically, it forecloses the chances of Peter Obi. In many ways, the South are already becoming comfortable with President Ahmed Tinubu. Even the Northwest, so those areas that didn't vote for him are changing their mind already. You know, so there is the chances that he would have a smooth sail in Southwest is about 85%. However, in a contest that is not competitive, it will always bring out a weak government. So I would have encouraged the coalition if they would be more sincere to their mission. And then, of course, Peter Obi had no choice than to pick the vice presidential slot. But if he starts saying dancing around now around Atiku, it will also cost him his followership. So he needs time to preach to his followers and say, look, gentlemen, you have seen how far we have gone. We thought we were going to be able to build the Labour Party to become a formidable platform for us to move our ambition forward come 2027. But up till now, the party is in shambles and it has been hijacked. So we don't have any hope that it will be healed before 2027. Therefore, we must come down to go up. We must surrender what we have so that we can get what we want. The vice presidential slot is good for him in the present circumstance.
Okay, Segun, I'm hearing about a new coalition platform, that is the ADC, and not Social Democratic Party. What are you hearing?
Of course, that is where the Atiku coalition, that's where they hope to go. But again,
the ADC?
Yes, yes.
That's where they... Peter Obi does not have a platform. Does Atiku have?
No, he doesn't.
Atiku too does not have. They're just looking for a broken house to rehabilitate and put their head. So and then they are alleging that it is APC that has influenced all the other party and causing problems in the other party. Are you sure they are not, the APC will not go after them in the ADC?
The ADC.
Yes, the ADC. So I think the two of them have a very big challenge on their hands, and not having a credible platform can play a major role. Yes, in the outcome of their participation in the presidential election in 2027.
Okay, let's listen to this next caller who is joining us. Please go ahead, your name and where you're calling from.
A very good afternoon.
A very good afternoon to you, sir.
Hello?
Yeah, we can hear you loud and clear. Your name and where you're calling from.
I'm Noah Thompson calling from Jos, Plateau State.
Noah something?
Noah Thompson calling from Jos, Plateau State.
Noah Thompson, okay, go ahead. From Plateau State.
Yes. So I only want to take this platform to send a message to my big brother, Peter Obi.
Okay.
Considering the rumor or the truth, whatever they are doing there, we don't know. But there is no smoke without fire. So in the other way around, Peter Obi come out for Labour Party last time as presidential candidate. And that is the ticket. Hello?
Yeah, we can hear you. Go ahead.
Yes, that is where we are still expecting him to be.
Okay.
So whatever may be the margin or whatever, I'm an Igbo man. We don't need anything vice president. Any of you that have P2B number should call him. If he emerged to receive vice president, we are not voting him. For more than 50 years now, Igbo man is not a president in this country. Hausa will rule and give Yoruba. Yoruba will rule and give Hausa. When will be the turn of the Igbos? If it will be accept vice president, we are not voting him. Thank you very much.
You know, Mbila, we are driven by sentiments and emotions. These two major factors in this country.
That's my worry in the Nigerian polity. I'm an Igbo man.
Exactly.
I'm probably more Igbo than the last caller who actually saw the war and suffered heavy setbacks because of the war. I was 6 going to 7. But I participated in the war to the extent that if I narrate it here, many people would not believe that the things I did under that circumstance is real. And then immediately after the war, I suffered a setback I didn't go back to school immediately. When I put the years I lost under the war and then after the war, I had about 5 years that I lost, you know. And I imagine that those who were, I was in elementary 2 in 1966. So I imagine that those who were in elementary 2 in 1966 were already teaching somewhere when I came into secondary school.
Yes.
So if I continue to nurse the wound of the war, I will never go forward.
Exactly.
And I had called the Igbos everywhere and said, whether it has been 50 years or 100 years, you have not tested the first position. It is not what you can get by sentiment. It is not what you can get by lamentation. It is not what you can get by recalling what you have suffered, the setback that you have suffered. It is what you can get by alignment. It is what you can get by asking yourself, where am I now? For instance, there is no Igbo party in the whole of the country that you will say, Peter Obi, come and contest on the platform of the Igbo party, you know. And when my brothers present the side that looks so pitiable, I intend to separate myself from it, because I cannot win by lamentation or by nursing my wound. Now, my idea about the setbacks the Igbos have suffered is that we must be moving forward.
Yeah.
Obi does not have his own political party. Atiku does not have his own political party. Are they going to contest election? They said so.
Yes.
So which party are they going to contest on? The party they want to mobilize.
Yes.
How much can they go in this mobilization? Would they want to give Obi the ticket as a president? I don't know. But I think we should ask ourselves what is possible in the present circumstance. We want to be, my mentor, Chief Ojo Madekwe, used to put it this way. Mbila, the first law about this business is be visible. The second law is be visible. The third law is be visible.
It's about visibility.
If you are not visible, you will be drowned. Now, P2B has made effort to be so visible, coming as the #1 flag bearer of a party that was not. But because of the masses that were behind him, the party came into being. But this party has also gone in disarray. So what will he do? Will he begin to mobilize for another party? This thing costs time and costs money. So what we ask is, what can I do now to be visible? For me, whatever thing he can do to be visible, he should remain visible. There was a time someone asked Jesus Christ, you know, someone who probably, like my brothers who knows their pains, was looking for independence for the Jewish state. And they thought that the Messiah, among other things, is here to restore the Jewish state. And here he was about to leave. And Jewish state was not even in the program of his consideration.
His agenda.
And he boldly came to him and said, Master,
are you the Messiah?
Is it not the time for you to restore the Jewish state? What did Jesus ask him? He says, it's not in your hand to decide when this state will be restored. So one thing is very clear. I had always told myself, maybe I need to say it very clear. There is no Nigeria that can claim better Nigeria like the Igbo man, who is everywhere. And who's supposed to go back to his shield after the war, but rather than going back, spread out his net everywhere. So we have enjoyed a fair share of accommodation in other areas other than our own territory. We must appreciate that. We must show appreciation for that and still ask ourselves what's the way forward. For me, Obi, whether you say he should not contest in 2027 or he should contest, should not be made to look like a tribal issue.
Exactly.
Obi has made himself a national figure, and it should remain so. He breakfast with the Muslims and breakfast with the Christian. He identified with the North, he identified with the South. we should not drag him into the mold of a tribal bigot. And he has not shown sign that he's interested in that, and we should not cast him in that mold.
Well, I like your advice.
I like his advice. I sincerely hope that those who need to listen will listen, because Obi will make a very good leader.
Yeah.
But what Nigerians have always been fearing are the supporters, those that are advising our politicians. They are the ones that continue to make them fall. Look at that kind of narrative. He has not spoken for 2 minutes. He's already telling us his tribe and what his tribe wants. In Nigeria of today, that cannot fly. It cannot fly even in the politics of 2027. So I think after the last presidential election, after the last context, I think somebody like Obi or even Atiku should sit down and look at what the banana peel was that made them fall, and then plan for 2020. I think their planning is coming a little late. By now, they are still looking for a political party under which to run. It's almost day. So now is the time for the two of them, if they want to make any impressive showing in 2027, to actually sit down, conclude their negotiation or even the coalition. They should conclude it on time and then begin to go on the field for proper harmonization of ideas and campaign, and then try to woo this kind of Mr. Thompson that just called him. So it's very, very necessary.
Okay.
And I believe that in the interest of Nigeria, in the interest of the people of Nigeria, the unity of this country that we have always been preaching, such narrative we should forget it.
Okay. Dr. Mbila, we have this catchphrase that has become part of the political lexicon of Nigeria, and that is gale of defections or tsunami of defections. Some people refer to it as Tinubu tsunami. Well, there's another one, gale of endorsement, because only on Saturday the All Progressives Congress in the Northwest Zone endorsed President Bola Ahmed Tinubu of the 2027 presidential election. The Speaker of the House of Representatives, Tajuddin Abbas, Right Honorable Tajuddin Abbas, moved the motion for the endorsement of the president, while Kebbi State Governor Nasir Idris seconded the motion, passing a vote of confidence in Tinubu for the second term in 2027. The event took place at the indoor sports hall of the late Umaru Musa Yar'Adua Hall, Murtala Square, Kaduna, on Saturday. This was after the Kaduna State Governor, the current governor, and APC Northwest coordinating governor, Senator Obasani, called upon Speaker Abbas to step forward before the gathering to move a motion for the endorsement. There seemed to be so much endorsement, and vote of confidence on the part of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu for 2027. Even some of them came from the opposition party. A case in point is Chukwuma Soludo of Anambra State. How do you react to that?
Yeah,
and that kind of thing is depleting the opposition party, the PDP.
The first is endorsement. Sometimes in this business of politics, you see certain terms will begin to come as we come close to election year. Yeah. And that you think that they have done anything that is very, very different from what they're supposed to do. Like as I said earlier, for APC to adopt, that's the word they use, in Southwest APC, to adopt Tinubu as the sole candidate, it's laughable. Because already he is, by tradition, the sole candidate.
And they belong to the same party.
They belong to the same party. So when they do it, the organizers would have gathered some money from elected officers, see what we want to do, you bring in money, So it is food for the boys. All right? To unsuspecting observers, they will just clap and say, oh, the APC in the Southwest. They have done nothing. But they have succeeded in getting some envelopes from those who are their sponsors. So you can organize your own endorsement and get some envelopes, brown envelopes.
Invite the media to cover it.
Bring the media so that it will be publicized. But you have done nothing. What the APC should be doing that would probably makes a whole lot of difference is seeking endorsement from outside their own community. But within their community, it will be foolhardy for any person to show up and say he wants to take the ticket from a sitting president. It has never happened before. Even where they try to do it in PDP. We see the type of signal is sent, and at the end of the day, the incumbent president would always come victorious, unless it is a coup that has been well organized, articulated by the National Working Committee, by the National Executive Committee, by the caucuses of the South-South, the Southwest, the Southeast, the Northeast, the North Central, and then the Northwest. When such coup takes place, they don't even broadcast it. They do it from behind. At the end of the day, you discover that the person did not go for second term. Why? Because those who are the real power brokers have spoken. You didn't hear their voice. Those that you hear their voice are shenanigans. And when the PDP wanted to take the ticket of governor of Anambra State in 2003, that's Dr. I can't remember his name now. You know, when they wanted to take his ticket, it followed this procedure. The National Working Committee has been briefed why the ticket should be taken and given to Christian Oba, who was then a domestic staff of President Obasanjo. But as of this time, there is they have made their inroad into the Obasanjo's kitchen cabinet. So they needed to be rewarded. And their candidate is not the incumbent governor of Anambra State. So what they did was to bring in the National Working Committee, convince them why the ticket should not go to the incumbent governor. They brought in the National Executive Committee and convinced them, and all the caucuses were in agreement that the ticket is not going to the incumbent, and it worked. It can never work unless these three committees are in agreement. That's when you know that President Bola Tinubu is in trouble. Then therefore he needs endorsement. Their endorsement is just a mere ceremony. Yeah, he is the owner of the ticket. They should be shopping for more votes for him. In fact, earlier this morning, I was a guest at the municipal FM. I saw the thumbnail. Yes. So, and we were discussing the propriety or otherwise of this compulsory bill for compulsory voting. Yes. I know that in a country like ours, where we claim that we are 200 million or above, it is laughable that only 8 million voters would determine who becomes the president. And therefore, we need to up our voting capacity. But will it be by compulsion? Do we force people to go and vote? No. Let's give them good governance. Let's give them reason to believe that, oh, if a leader is like this, then I'm going to vote. Let the people be dying to vote. Let them be the one that say, I must vote. Why? Because they know their vote counts and the leaders are accountable. But where the leaders are not accountable, they'll ask you to tighten your belt while their own belt will be loosened. Certainly, you will not be eager to go out and vote. Leaders, make the voters happy so that they can come out to vote. Don't compel them to vote. Okay. Segun, before I come to you, please listen to this caller who has just joined us. Your name, please, and where you're calling from. It's your turn.
We are winding down. So do you agree with him in some of the...
No, of course I agree with him, especially on his last point of not making it compulsory for Nigerians, not putting news on their neck to drag them to the polling station. It can work. If that's what they want to do, they should make a huge appropriation to build more correctional centers, or do they call it prison? Because there were very many people to put there. Then again, on the endorsements, that's the kind of language you'll be hearing now. At this, in fact, there is going to be more. At what level? More at what levels they are going to endorse Mr. President? That is what will be happening at this material time. But like he said, it's just a public show. It's just for the cameras. What they want to bring out is just to tell the cameramen and the reporters that please go and help us report that we too in this my house, we have my little compound, we have endorsed Mr. President. Please broadcast it so that the man we collected money from, we know that we are doing it. Whether the man next door agrees with him is immaterial. It's just the show of playing to the gallery. But at the same time, we need to know that the people at such gatherings equally matter. When a governor goes to an event to endorse a candidate, it carries a lot of weight. Though his crowd may not be there at that material time, but know that if he's the leader of the party in his state, he has followers. Now, like we said, when the governor of Edo State and all the big wigs in Delta State, the governor of Delta State and all the big wigs there, when they move to APC, it's very huge for APC. It's a big loss for the PDP, because those are the ones that control the political machinery in that state up to world level. So if the leaders move, a very big chunk of those that are in political participation have really moved. So sometimes the endorsement too can still make some noise. Impact can still make some impact.
Okay, in 30 seconds, Dr. Mbila, you are passing your final word.
Well, we are in for 2027 already,
right?
And there's no doubt that the pendulum seems to be favoring the incumbent president. But I still want to advocate for competitive electioneering, so that we don't produce weak leaders. This is the only way to go. Where we all fall into one line and then no contrary voice, you know, like one of the presiding officers at the Senate who would want to make sure that the voting he preferred is passed. So he used to put it this way: those in support contrary, before he could finish contrary, has already governed. So here we are seeing those in support of President Tinubu contrary, they have already governed, you know. So we pray that Mr. President will stand up to the challenge of this endorsement.
Yes. Okay.
Okay, now I want to just plead with the present administration to spend a little more time on providing food for the people. We know that much effort is being devoted to politicking, and I know that there are some inroads that they have made in terms of infrastructure in very many communities. I think if President Tinubu does well in 2027 in regions like the southeast is more because of some of the landmark projects that has been able to advance in that area. So I believe that more efforts should be spent on providing food and then security before 2027. It will go a long way.
Well, Segun Ojelade, Kaftan senior anchor and presenter, thanks for joining me.
Thank you.
This auspicious afternoon on the Polity.
Thank you.
Well, Dr. Nkumoku.
Nkumoku.
Obadiah Mbila. I love the name. Obadiah Mbila, media personality, consultant, and political analyst. Thanks for joining me this afternoon on the Polity.
Thank you, my brother Macauley.
Well, viewers, that's the size of our package. I remain yours truly, Macauley Hunohashi, on behalf of our crew that made the program possible.
Join me at 8 o'clock.
Thank you. See you tomorrow. Bye-bye. God bless.